Hello, I'm Kathleen Capcara. I work at Trinity Episcopal Church and I love to tell stories. And I like to talk about God and the people of God. And today we are going to hear a story in honor of Ruth Bader Ginsberg, the Supreme Court Justice who just died this week. It's about another Ruth who was a strong and remarkable woman, just like Ruth Bader Ginsberg was. But to hear one of the stories about the people of God, we have to be ready. And you know, it's really hard to get ready when you're always watching things on screens. But one of the ways that I like to get ready is to practice listening. And we listen with our whole selves, with our hearts and our ears and our eyes and our minds and our bodies. And right now we'll practice listening by listening to the sound of this singing bowl. When you can't hear it anymore, then I will be ready to start the story of Ruth, who was King David's great-grandmother. Now, we've heard a lot over the past couple of months about the people of God before they went into the Promised Land. We've heard about how they were slaves in Egypt and how God showed Moses how to take the people through the water to freedom. We have heard about how the people wandered in the desert for 40 years before they ever entered the Promised Land. And to get into the Promised Land, they crossed over the Jordan River. And the people of God, we have them here in this basket, they filled the land. But among the people of God was a woman named Naomi and her husband. And they lived near the city of Bethlehem and with their 2 sons. Now, a time came again when it didn't rain and the wheat didn't grow. And many of the people who lived in Bethlehem and near Bethlehem decided to cross back over the Jordan River into the land of Moab, and that's where there was food. And among the people who went back over the Jordan River were Naomi and her husband and their 2 sons. Now, at first, they were very happy, but then Naomi's husband died, and that was very sad. Naomi was now a widow. That means someone who doesn't have a husband or wife. But the sons of Naomi got married to some women from Moab. Now, the Moabite women didn't have the same God that the people of God had. But the 2 women from Moab who married Naomi's sons were Orpah and Ruth. Now later, as the years went by, Naomi's 2 sons also died. And now, Naomi and Orpah and Ruth were all widows together. Naomi decided to go back to Bethlehem, her hometown. And she told Orpah and Ruth to go back to their town, to go back to Moab, where they came from, to go to their families. Now, Orpah decided to do that. She went back to her family. But Ruth clung to Naomi. Ruth said to Naomi, "Where you go, I will go. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God." And so they went back and found a place to live near Bethlehem. Now, Ruth would go into the fields and gather grain for her and Naomi to eat. people let them do that because they were widows and they did not have any husbands to help them. Well, the place where Ruth went to gather grain was in the fields of one of the relatives of Naomi, and his name was Boaz. Boaz saw Ruth, and he liked how well she took care of Naomi. And he liked Ruth very much, and so later they got married. Boaz and Ruth had a son. Now, Naomi had a grandson, someone she could hold on her lap. Their son had a son whose name was Jesse. Jesse had many sons, but one of his sons became the great King David. David was the shepherd boy who fought Goliath and won, and later became king of all of Israel. And David was the great-grandson of Naomi, of Ruth, of Ruth, and came from the city of Bethlehem, which means the house of bread, but later became known as the city of David. Now, I wonder what part of this story you like the best. I wonder what part of this story is about you, or who you are in this story. I wonder if you would move somewhere to find food if you needed to. I wonder if you've ever helped to take care of anyone. I wonder if you like being at home with your family all the time. I wonder if your family helps you feel cared for. I wonder if there's part of this story that we could leave out and still know all about the strong and remarkable woman Ruth, who had a great grandson who became king of Israel. I wonder, I'm going to put the people of God away, but I wonder, these are for the people of Moab. Orpah goes in this basket, but I wonder if Ruth, who came from Moab, should be in this basket, or should she be in the basket with the people of God? I wonder if you can make something about this story. I wonder if you could make a picture and give this story a different ending. Or I wonder what happens after King David becomes king. We'll talk more about that the next time we have a lesson. Have a good day, and God bless you. I'll see you next time.